Hello Gems, Leah from Red Emerald Yoga. Welcome back to my channel for today's video. Today we will be reviewing Squid Cake Tarot by Jess Rolar. This is a Marseille deck. It's a Rockpool deck. This will not be an unboxing video. I just realized that I've had this deck for a few years and I never did a review on it. So here's the box. It's a little bit crunched. I've taken this to the beach with me a few times, but it's still in really good condition. I like that the writing on the box is spot glossed, so it gives you a little bit of tactile pleasure. All of the writing here, well, not the Jess Rolar, but the Rockpool logo, and then the Squid Cake Marseille tarot. And then over here, this little image, that's spot glossed too, so it feels really nice. I like that there's the thumb holes. It makes it easy to open. And it is a signed edition. I purchased this from magic.com. Here's the little guidebook. So I've gone through the guidebook in entirety once. That's part of my deck connection process. That's something that I always enjoy doing. And it's still intact. It's not falling apart. There's no pages that are falling out. So the guidebook is really nice and well made. At the end of this video, we will do a sample reading from the guidebook. So here's your descriptions for your majors, and then your minors. It has about the same amount of information. Here's the inside. I don't know if this will pick up. It's really light, but it's very cute. It says, engage your creativity and be inspired to think outside the box. Is that going to show? I can't tell. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Let's see. I normally do this. I don't know if this will still have a smell. It just smells like an old book from a library. It's pleasant. It smells familiar. And let's give this deck a sniff test. As I said, this is a deck that I've had for a few years, so I don't know if it's going to smell like anything. Oops. It has a little bit of a scent, but it just kind of smells like a book. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have scrambled these cards. Okay, whatever. They're going to be a little bit out of order. They were in order. Now we have them all in order. Okay, so we have the smell. Let me smell this again. It has a faint smell, but I can't really place what it reminds me of, but it's just soft and subtle. One thing I want to say is I love the cutting on this deck. I love this big, fat, juicy corner. It's actually round. It's not roundish. It feels really good in your hands. These cards felt good right from the moment I opened them up. They were a little bit difficult to shuffle, and I preferred when I first opened them to use them in an overhand shuffle or a big messy pile, because they were just a little bit too stiff to shuffle in the smaller size. Let me see the font size, readability. I think it's perfect. I think that's a really good size. I like the cute typography that they used. I like the font. Let's see the descriptions and the spreads. I feel like the descriptions are adequate. The spreads, there's only a few spreads in here and they're really small. It talks about using open-ended questions versus yes, no. There's a spread for the morning. 2 or 3 card spread. And then I like where it gives you a couple of different questions that you could ask. It says these are a few of her favorite daily prompts to ask. An open reading, which is a way that I really love reading. I find that Marseille decks are very talkative. for those types of readings, but I also read like that with decks based on the Rider-Waite-Smith. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the spreads. I do like how it talks about the numerology of the minors. It talks about the suits. So here the suit names are batons, cups, swords, and coins. So let's go into the deck. Let's check these cards out. I think the reason why I opened this up and then I did not end up doing a review on it was because when I initially opened this deck, I didn't like it. I bought it because it was a signed copy and I thought, oh, it might be a nice collector's item. But when I opened it, I was just like, oh, this deck is really ugly. I didn't like how sad and depressed these people were. They kind of looked like zombies, you know, and they're just, I don't know, their clothes were all torn and I didn't like it at all. And then I got this client and I was like, oh my gosh, I know which deck is going to be perfect for this client, and it was this deck. And so I used it and it was perfect, and the client was gushing over how perfect the imagery tied into her situation, and it was just, oh, okay, like, let's give this deck a chance. And so I started using it in other readings. And the more I've used this deck, the more I've come to love it. So that's one thing that I do want to say is that even when I open a deck and I just don't like it, I will give it a second chance. I will see if there's a way that I can tie it into my practice, if there's a way that, you know, I can come to appreciate the deck. And so now I can say that this is one of my favorite mini decks. I love this deck. I like using it when people are stuck, when they feel like they're not making any progress, when they feel like they're stuck trying to find a job, when they feel like they're stuck in a dead-end job, when they feel like they're stuck, they're never going to find the right relationship, things of that nature. I find that younger adults tend to like this deck, like in the tweens. They kind of like it. They think it's fun. I can honestly say I've never pulled out this deck that I was just so repulsed by initially, and it had anybody like, oh, why did you pick that deck? It's really ugly, or I didn't like it. Nobody's ever had that reaction to it, so I guess that was just all me. And when I purchased this deck, these were the images that I saw. And I was like, oh, it's going to be so cute. It's going to be beautiful. And when I opened it, I was really surprised. I was like, oh, wow, what did I buy? Why did you buy this? So if you watch my other videos, you will know that I do love my Marseille decks. I know some of you don't like Marseille decks, so this just would either not be the deck for you, or maybe if you find it on sale, maybe you give a Marseille deck a try, but I really like this deck. This deck does not get any fingerprints. It's really nice when I'm doing video readings. It doesn't glare. Let me see if I can make any glare. Yeah, it just will not pick up a glare. Love that. I love that this cup has the little heart coming out of it. That's something that I always say about coffee. I say that it's a cup of love. when we're getting up to go surfing, my husband or my son will bring me a cup of coffee in bed, and they'll tell me that they're bringing me a cup of love. I'll drink that and get up and start my start my day. I've used this deck for people of all ages, and I've used this deck for men, for women, and everybody likes it so far. Maybe in the future someone will be like, I don't like that deck, but so far nobody said that. And I do take careful consideration when choosing decks for clients. All in all, I've had 2 clients who did not like the decks that I've picked for them, even though I still feel like it was the right deck for them. It was the message that they needed to hear. But visually, they didn't like it. That's happened twice. Okay, let's find my favorite card. What is my favorite card in this deck? Let me see. Well, whatever. Let's just go through all of them. Pretty sure it's going to be in the majors. This dude always cracks me up. This Page of Cups. It kind of reminds me of teasing or laughing at somebody. That card tends to come up in the reverse a lot in situations of being bullied or like hazing. That card always comes up. I love this one, the Sun. How it's like this person, to me, it seems like this person is bringing her over here. Like she was, the interpretation I always had is like this person was standing here alone and they were just kind of like, ho hum, you know, and then this person comes along like, hey, do you want to come sit with us or do you want to come play with us? It's that kind of a feeling, like being brought in, being accepted. Love this Death card. This gives me Little Shop of Horrors vibes. Very cute. This one always cracks me up because the Lovers is shown here and there's 2 people and his head kind of looks like it's getting like, oh, which one do I choose? That can literally be for relationship, but it can also be about choices. You know, which choice do I go with? They're both appealing. Okay, so these are my favorite cards. I like their little mini size. I feel like I can do a large spread with these cards easily. Everything fits on the table. I like this card because it looks like a little road right here. Like, why did the chicken cross the road? You know, why are you going in this direction? Why are you doing this? Why are you taking that action? Do you know? Do you know why you're crossing the road? This is hard. I've never done this for this deck to figure out which one is my favorite. I love the Cup of Love. The Death card is adorable. And I love how he's just like kind of bringing her in the sun. I think I'm going to go with the sun. So let's read what the guidebook has to say about the sun. I already told you how it makes me feel. So it has keywords: success, clarity, warmth, and the function is illuminates. The sun sheds light on what you originally couldn't see under moonlight. The beastly shadow you thought was stepping out of your closet last night was just a tall pile of clothes on a chair. It's as if someone is shining a flashlight on things so that you can get a better look. The sun can also act as a spotlight and shine on your success, illuminating your achievements and allowing you to see how far you've actually come. Enjoy it. When this card shows up in a reading, it's a sign that things are coming to light. So get ready to finally see what was really going on. This is also a time to soak in those rays. I love it. And it's just, the sun is just showering these joy and these blessings on them both. Let's pick a random card. Oh, I didn't talk about this. I love the edging. This deck comes edged in this lovely shade of pink. And the back is just super cute. I love it. And these look like little candy corns to me. And then these look like they're little strawberries. So it's just very, very sweet. I do read with reversals. So this is the usual way that I will shuffle this deck. They do kind of slide all over the place. They have a tendency to jump out. I do get jumpers with this deck. I do read jumpers, and I read them in the way that they lie. This deck does take a while to get a really good mix of cards. And I put them all in order for this review. Does it have a cohesive theme? Yes, it totally does. They all look like these zombie stuck people. And then it's just like brightened up by all of the pip cards, which I love. Is it for newbies? I don't think this deck is for newbies. I think if you're comfortable reading Marseille, if you're comfortable reading Rider-Waite, then you'll probably be fine. But I would not recommend this as a first deck. Let me see what else is in my list. How do I keep it? How do I store it? I always keep it in its box. It's a really sturdy box. I love it. It keeps it safe, even when traveling to the beach in my beach bag. who might not like it. If you wanted a really pretty deck, it is pretty, but just like these people just surprised the heck out of me when I first opened it, and I was just like, oh, I don't like that. I did not like it. But they grew on me. So yeah, people who have that gut reaction to it, you might not like it. If you want it to have the same colors like the Rider-Waite, if you want it to have the same colors like a traditional Marseille, you know, this won't be the deck for you. If you wanted a full size, I think this comes in a full size. Some people don't like the mini decks. I know the full size is always my preferred size. I'm actually glad that I got this one in the mini deck because I think I just like it better in the mini size. Just being kind of like the people on the more ugly side. I think it's not as jarring to me in the cuter miniature size. I'm not sure if I would have liked it in the full size. This deck does not remind me of a deck that I have. I don't have any decks with that kind of art. Okay, who might like it? I think I skipped that. People who love pinky, peachy colored decks. People who want a Marseille deck. People who want something a little bit grungy, a little bit more geared towards a younger audience. If you like zombie type movies, or kind of even like, I know it's different aesthetic, but kind of like a Garbage Pail vibe, I guess. Just kind of like really grungy and dirty, kind of zombie-like. If you were looking for something to visually represent feeling stuck, you're not going anywhere, this would be a good deck for that. The snail and the chariot, like you're just going, you're making progress, but it's slow. Your chariot is being pulled by snails, you know? I like to do sample readings from the actual guidebook. So let's go over here and see. So we will be doing a 3-card spread asking the question, where can I draw my inspiration from today? So let's draw 3 cards on this. Where can I draw my inspiration from today? These cards are not really mixed that well yet because they're so grippy. Not grippy, but like they don't have a good mix because of their small size and sturdy cardstock. So we'll just say that's 1. Okay. Oh, one thing I do want to say is that there is a slight lift, but it does not make these cards uncomfortable because I don't rifle shuffle these. There's a little bit of a lift at the top and the bottom and the left side of the face of this card. The right side is very, very faint, not so much. So it's these 3 sides. The top and bottom are the most prominent, and I think it's from the cutting, I don't know. It doesn't make it uncomfortable. So where can I draw my inspiration from today? So in the past, we drew our inspiration from the 6 of batons. In the past, we drew our inspiration from our achievements, from our success. Towards what type of goal we wanted to achieve. Where we can draw our inspiration from today is the 9 of Swords in the reverse. What fears would you like to overcome? What problem would you like to solve? And that may lead to the Fool. Not being so afraid of making a mistake. Not being afraid of doing things differently. Taking a new direction. I feel like this is your insecurity. Friends, family, acquaintances holding you back. I love how it's an octopus. I feel like that would be probably your subconscious, things from your past failures holding you back. Like, no, don't do that. What if you mess up? What if you fail? You're not going to have this success, you know? But that's okay. Let's go to the guidebook and see how the guidebook would read. 6 of Batons says, keywords: acknowledgement, success, participation. You're being asked to take a moment and look back at how far you've come and pat yourself on the back and celebrate your success. This is a different kind of pause because you're personally putting on the brake. It's a chance to enjoy the scenery and take in the smell of sweet victory. Visually, there are fresh flowers blooming in all directions again. Things are coming to fruition, and it's a chance to stop and recognize the efforts you've made thus far. Take a moment to relish where you are right now and the energy it took to get there. So yes, that's what I was getting, like success, your achievements. That's where you drew your inspiration from in the past. And then moving on to the 9 of Swords, for where we can draw inspiration from now in the present. It says courage, trying all in, and this card is in the reverse. So it says now is the time to really give it your all because things are getting harder. You have nothing to lose at this point. So why not go out with a fight? It takes a lot of courage to keep moving, and the odds are surely weighing against you. But you never know what you're capable of if you don't at least try. With this final push, you're invited to make some changes to your technique, and this may help a little, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. Visually, things are getting tighter and the negative space is growing thicker. Your sword is being outnumbered, and it's time to muster up the courage to simply try. You already know the outcome, but who knows? It could be worth a shot. And the potential outcome from drawing inspiration in this way is the Fool. So let's go over here to the beginning. Ah, they're putting the Fool at the end. That's right. Some decks do that. Okay, so here we have freedom, walking, foolishness for the keywords, and the function is walks. So it says all journeys start somewhere and require fresh steps with a curious and open mind, which is the core essence of the Fool. Take a leap forward and trust that you'll land with both feet and learn something along the way. The Fool is a nudge to laugh at your mistakes because sometimes life can be too serious and everyone needs a good giggle. When this card shows up in a reading, it can be a simple invitation encouraging you to take a chance on yourself, to see what may be possible and available to you right now. So I do like the way that the guidebook reads. It does not give you an upright and a reversed interpretation. If you only read upright, that's fine. If you read reversals, great, interpret them into your readings. If you pull an upright or a reverse card and you only read upright, then just flip it over, you know. Or you can experiment with it. See how you might take on a new approach to reading. Okay, so let's see. What does the guidebook include? Because I did not do that. So it goes into the introduction, how to use the cards, card spreads, major arcana, minor arcana, suits, acknowledgements, and the author. So this is copyright, where is it? Oh, this is copyright 2023. I guess so. I got this last year. Yeah, so copyright 2023. Did I cover everything? That was so fast. Yeah, I think I got everything. Yes, I did. Okay. Let me know in the comments if you have this deck, what you think about it. I know there's quite a few editions of this. I think there was like an indie deck version, and then there was the full-size, mass-produced, and now the mini. So if you do have this deck, let me know which version you have, if you like it, what you don't like about it. So thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this review of Squid Cake Marseille Tarot. I will leave a link in the description if you'd like to pick up a copy for your own collection. I'll see you soon, gems. Bye for now.